Hello, everyone. This is another Freedom to Feel conversation, and my guest today is RaidoKivikangur. I'm not sure if I pronounced it correctly, but I tried. He is an executive coach with the desire to help professionals to establish and fulfill their goals. And I know it's not just professional goals. When I heard the word goals, I thought about life, goals in life, happiness, peace, satisfaction, that. So beautiful, beautiful desire, beautiful longing, beautiful, let's say, purpose to have. Do you call what you do a purpose? Is that a mission, a gift, a calling?
I think it's little pieces from all of the things you just mentioned.
Yeah.
But I actually like the word mission, because then it's a clear purpose with frames, and I just do it and bond everything what I do with this ultimate mission that I have.
Yeah, I love that. How did you come to this point in your life, Ryder? How did you become you, the one that I'm talking now?
That's a very good question, and the short and easy answer is usually that I had many difficulties that I overcome, and I think the most challenging difficulties what I have experienced actually have hugely contributed to becoming the people that I am today. So
Right. I hear that a lot. The connection between suffering and growth, suffering and wisdom. Do you actually believe that we need to suffer in order to learn powerful lessons and become, let's say, peaceful and happy human beings? Is suffering necessary for that, or not always?
I think it's difficult to say yes, but I think we need to have some kind of hardships to overcome, because when it rains, we actually are forced to find that something within.
Yeah.
If it's always sunny, marshmallows around us, then we just we don't appreciate it, and we don't have the depth. But we probably need this. Unfortunately, that's life.
Yeah. I have to say that is true from the level of the human experience. Yes, right. I have found that to be true. The most amazing people that I have met, they have been through the most, let's say, painful situations in life, in challenging situations. They're incredible people. They are loving, they are wise, they're kind. So it's kind of sad even to say that, but that is true. From the human experience is very much true. So with that in mind, what is your idea of happiness?
Actually, I have one very simple definition, or what I visualize, and I always like to share it as well.
Yeah.
I think happiness for me is that the moment when I go to bed at night, and the feeling or the knowing that this day I did everything I was able to do. It doesn't matter if I did everything okay, if I won or lose, but I know that I gave my best version, and actually the results do not matter. And I think for me, this is happiness. This moment is happiness.
Yes, that's a powerful message, right? Because the idea of happiness being a destination never really resonated with me, although I lived that way too, looking for the future, trying to be happy if something happened. So now it's more like being present. I usually use the word inner peace. I'm more interested in peace than in happiness for some reason. Maybe because from peace, happiness can arise. Happiness can be present. What do you think about that, Ryder? Peace and happiness.
I think that they are, let's say, connected to each other. And yeah, I think if we are talking about peace, then that's something that can be found in every moment we experience.
Yeah.
As simple as eating an ice cream when it's spring out there. So yeah, I think peace is a lot deeper than happiness, for me at least. And yeah, I think it can be found in every situation we have.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. I come from it's a spiritual perspective, my sense of peace, but it's very much similar, I'm sure. You did mention something like that that caught my attention. Email you sent me about the main message for our conversation today. You said little moments that make life worth living. You have a story about something. So you said someone's best day of their life.
Yeah.
So is that what you? Yeah, talk to me about that. I'd love. Now is the right moment, I guess. We're talking about peace.
Yes, actually, the story behind it is a couple of years ago we organized a charity event, and the main event actually was to get finances. In Estonia, we have this kallikarud. It's the huggy bears, the
Yeah.
bears what we put into police cars when something happens with the kids in
Oh,
traffic. Then,
right.
because the policeman is the first guy who will get there, and they will hand over the teddy bear to the children who are in the accident. And we had this kind of event. We actually very loved it, but the heartwarming moment actually came after the event, because I had some kind of candies there, what the sponsors gave me, and we were wondering what to do with the candies. And these two little girls, they were something 7 or 8 years old, and they were there, and I asked them, "Do you want those candies? Because we don't need them." And one of them just take hold the candies, hug them, and said, "That's the best day of my life." And I was there, my team was there, and the big men, I saw that there was something in their eyes. So yeah, a simple act, but so powerful.
That's true, though. And that's what it seems like we are missing, some of us, to be more childlike, right? Raider, be more open to life, more receptive to the simple things. And I think that's what it seems like we get too much into the narrative of adult being responsible, being serious. We take everything so seriously that we forget, we miss those precious moments. Um, but the practice of meditation is very powerful for adults to help us to guide us back to that presence, to that simple type of living. Do you meditate? Do you recommend that to your clients to meditate?
Yes, probably. That the simple answer is yes. I meditate. Do I recommend it? Depending from the client, because many of them they are a bit far from it. They just
That's true.
need to go some phases to get there. But I do meditate, and actually, to put it simply, it has changed my life, because, as you said, taking away all the information around us, all the things that adults should be doing and should be feeling and should not be feeling.
Right.
Take this away, and you can feel yourself as a human being or something even bigger.
Yes, yeah, the presence of something that's always here. What is a good replacement for meditation? Have you found something that's also very useful for those who are not used to meditation?
Actually, I have to say that I'm doing also the little bit of physical exercises, and for me, something close is actually being on a marathon,
Yeah,
and this very last 10% of the marathon race. Is it running or is it bicycling, something else? But the long-lasting exercise, when you reach on that point that you're just focusing on the finish line, everything is hurting, and you have no worry thoughts there. And this is something for me that will clear my mind absolutely. And I'm thankful for the food when I get to the finish line and I'm able to sit on the bench and the simple things again.
yeah. Almost like a sense of gratitude, isn't it?
It
Appreciation,
is.
gratitude
It is.
for the state we are in. That is true. Yeah, I never thought it that way, but that's even sometimes pain can be an interesting let's say, way to focus in the moment, to be present by feeling the sensations in the body when they are very powerful and strong. Um, and oh gosh, I have a lot of questions here for you. Let me go back to the first. So the topics for today's conversation that I kind of outlined that way: healing, authenticity, growth, mindset, and wisdom. So authenticity, how would you describe what that is?
I think I got it when I was in high school, and we had this Christmas Day event where every your classmate wrote something for you, and actually what was written in my award was the thank you that you're being so authentic. I just remember it for the rest of
Yeah,
my life.
yeah,
And what I thought then and also now, I think is simple is that that despite of the environment, you have your own thoughts going on in your
mm,
heads. You know them. You know that the outside will affect yourself,
yeah.
but you will try to balance yourself with the environment. So I think this is close enough to authentic.
Let me see if I understand. I never heard it that way. That's very interesting and different.
Mm.
So it's the integration of the external input with the internal input in a sense of the resonance coming together. Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, because usually when my clients also when I ask that what makes them authentic, then they say that I'm this or that,
Yeah.
and that's correct, of course. We also have to know that if I think that I'm a friendly person, then I act differently in different situations, in different with different people. That's for sure. And I think authenticity for me is it's the same. That I know I'm a friendly guy, but my friendly side will change when I meet different people. That's for sure. And I try to be friendly with everybody, but there
Yeah.
are, as you know, there are very many different situations in life, and that's for me.
That is interesting. Raider, I never thought it that way. So it's really being present to what is present. That's authentic. Instead of trying to be something fixed. Okay, I'm friendly, so I have to be friendly with everybody and everything. That
Yes.
doesn't make sense because we ended up being not authentic by trying to be friendly when we don't feel like it. That makes sense. So
Mm.
that's the wow, that's the other side of authenticity that I didn't think about it.
Yeah.
That is true. So being present to what is present, whatever is here, just go with that flow, with that energy. It's almost like dancing, isn't it? Like
It is. It
right?
is.
Huh? Yeah, just knowing how to dance. Another question, open question that I have for you is to be a coach. You are an executive coach, a coach. What makes a great coach?
I think what makes a great coach, there are probably various factors. What I use actually is the honesty or the very feedback right at it, because we are in this is it this business world or the family around us, usually they want the best of us or they want something to take it from, but the coach, as a coach, I can say what I see, and I have no background information. I
Yeah,
just listen to you, see you, how you reflect, what's your body language, and so on. And I think yes, the very honesty is the key that I can say. But you're saying this is important to you, but you're describing totally something different.
right.
What are we doing?
I love that idea, of course, as a concept of being truthful and kind at the same time. Do you also use the component of kindness, not to be, let's say, brutally honest with somebody who is not ready?
Yeah, of
How,
course.
yeah, talk to me. How do you approach this? Somebody who's not ready for honesty or truth?
My my good old mentor actually once said that there is a very much difference of being honest and saying the same things in a very different manner.
Yeah.
And I also believe that I'm able to say truth, but I do not have to be so harsh. I don't have to,
Right.
hey, what are you doing here? But just to be a bit softer, be more caring, and of course, sometimes people are not ready to hear it. They know, okay, but let's keep on going today. So, of course,
Yes.
the sensitivity has to
Yeah.
go hand in hand with it.
That's a good point. Yeah. So that other piece of authenticity, just being present and kind of listening to people carefully, that will take a great coach will be able to sense that, right? Who they can be open and honest with, and people who they cannot. So they choose a different way. I love this idea of yeah. I usually I say that a lot. The dance, we got to learn how to dance, but also being authentic though. Sometimes some songs we don't know how to dance some of them, some rhythms, and we have to be honest, we don't have to dance everything. Like I try, like for example, I do not dance the dance of media, like let's say mainstream media. I don't watch TV, I don't read the newspapers, none of that doesn't interest me. And some people perceive that as trying to be outside of reality, of this shared reality we have. But I don't see it that way. It's also a matter of interest, isn't it, Raiders? Sometimes we're all different. We are not interested in certain things. Do you feel yourself that way sometimes? Still not interested, not willing to dance certain songs and rhythms?
I think it's a very valid point, and yeah, of course, even the news, or when I go to office Monday morning, people are saying that's news, that said something, and no, it's repeating, and yes, I think it is the case. It definitely is the case, and from the personal point of view, I think we should not be feeling bad because we do not want to dance this dance, or we do not want to dance this dance today on this
Right.
certain point. So I think it's about setting boundaries with the people around you.
Yeah.
That this is my boundaries. I don't dance tango. It's something else today.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. That's it. Boundaries. Ah, that's a big one for most of
It
us.
is.
Have you learned to master um, this concept of boundaries in your life?
I wish I could say yes.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Why it's not easy? I wonder why. Maybe it's not easy to set boundaries.
It's difficult because I think as we started that in life there are little things that are completely fixed, and I think boundaries are one of the topics that will change over the time as we grow, as we change as a
Right.
person. And so today my boundaries is something like this. Tomorrow it's something a bit on the right or the left. I think this will make it difficult because we need to constantly calibrate where are our boundaries, and of course the second part, that how am I going to tell that person that I will not do this, or I will. So yeah, the dynamics and the I think this is the most difficult part.
Right. It's interesting what you said. I think it was very wise about boundaries might look differently from time to time. So we are changing. So everything is evolving anyway. I love this idea that everything from the body mind perspective is always changing. So why not be present and embrace what's here, not just here in a sense of outside, but also here in a sense of inside. Yes. And the thing about boundaries that for me has been connection, because I love people and I don't really like the idea of keeping them away from me. So I have tried everything. People have hurt me and all that, not to keep them away in a sense forever, or try to really close the door. I create the boundaries in a different way, but I'm because there's something about human connection that's very precious to me. So I try not to disconnect with anyone, although sometimes it is necessary, and it has been my case with my family. I had to leave my country, and I didn't really plan to come back because I know that was part of my boundaries. I could talk to them on the phone and all that, but not in person, not be too close. That's
Mhm.
kind of sad in a way, but for some people it is necessary. Do you see it that way too? Being away for certain people, and but not losing them from your heart, right, Radio? I keep them
Mhm.
in my heart always.
I think what actually pops into my mind is uh, the very simple principle that when I want to say yes to some person, I probably need to say no to another person.
Yeah,
Yeah, probably it's not the final no, or I will never communicate with you. But I think it's necessary. Is it because of you or because of the other persons around you? I think it's necessary because uh, the situations are difficult. Some relationships will not benefit to us too much in a positive way, and
right.
to experience the five other persons who are in healthy relationships with me, I have to say no to that other person. Yeah, it might be necessary.
Yeah, yeah. From my perspective, for sure, that has been my experience too.
Mm.
And you did mention, speaking of childhood, the main message that I read from you said, it read, although we are not able to choose our childhood conditions, we are the ones who define ourselves in our own lives, in our lives. So, why did you write this? I'm wondering where, yeah, how did you arrive to this statement, to this conclusion?
Actually, I think it's. I don't remember exactly how old I was when I actually thought about it, but I probably might be something around 8 or 9, as I remember. And I remember that as I wrote to you as well, that my father left our family when I was 4 or 5.
Yeah,
That's a difficult topic for a young child, and it will raise so many questions. And we were struggling back then for many years, and I remember that back then I thought about that there has to be something else. And, I did not choose this for myself. I think nobody would have been,
right, right.
and I have the right to do the choices or make some kind of better decisions to not be in the same position 10, 15, or 20 years from now. That the main message for myself back then was that I deserve happiness as well, or I deserve a family as well. So yeah, that's something that comes from quite in an early stage of my life.
Ah, wow, that's wise though. Are you spiritual? Do you have any spiritual practices? It sounds very spiritual to me.
I think I have not experienced, or I'm not a professional spiritual person, but for example, this family situation back then, I think it pushed me to the spirituality where that makes made sense, and actually that was the place I know healed myself, or I was able to move on. Yeah, life pushed me, I think.
Ah, yeah, well, that's to all of us. That's
Yeah.
for sure. Ah, yeah, sounds very spiritual. There's awareness. I must be very wise in the sense of aware of uh, the reality that we are living and how to move around it. See how to dance again, to move around that. And that's true. And you do talk about the victim mindset versus that I will make it no matter what attitude, which I call it growth mindset. Some coaches, they call it that.
Hmm.
So, what is the difference between a victim mindset and a growth mindset?
I think a very good example is actually one of my friends' families. They had some difficulties because actually his father died when we were in middle school, and my friend had a brother. He was 2 years younger than him, and they were in a quite similar situation, and many years have gone by, and one of the brothers actually is I would say a successful person.
Yeah.
He has a healthy family life and friends, but the other brother actually has, let's say, it seems that he has no purpose in life. He's having drinking problems and many things related to it, and it's a good example that in quite similar situation, the people lives become totally different. And one of the aspects I'm sure is the choices they make. That they say that this tragic thing happened to me. I am very sad about it. It really affected me, but I will do the choices because I'm still here. I can still make a difference with my existence to the people around me. So I think this is the strong mindset, because it's quite easy to be a victim that feels sorry for. Yeah,
That's true. It is easy. It was my case for many years, like blaming everybody, everything, my past, my childhood. That's when I realized there's no power there. There's no empowerment in there, and that's well, my path is spiritual, so my everything that I have learned comes from spirituality, most of it. But what makes one person stronger than the other? Like, I clearly see that too. Some people seem to face challenges differently.
probably there are a lot answers to it, but I think what I actually said at the beginning is what makes us people strong is having a mission, or having the sense of knowing that why am I here,
Yeah.
in a very bigger picture. That when I know why I'm here, what I need to do, then I think this will give you clarity. It will give you strength to endure. I don't know what difficulties may come up. So I think knowing when you look in the mirror and who is this person there, I think this will give you huge muscles to
Yeah,
to
to
say,
move forward,
yeah,
right?
of
So
course.
true. What was that moment when you find out that you had this strength, that this, you just saw clearly there was something that it was in you? I know what I want. Do you remember?
I remember it actually quite clearly. I think about it. I don't know, every month or something. I don't know how, but it just pops into my mind. I believe it was also some kind of around seventh or eighth grade, and after the school day, I went to training. I had a couple of different training groups where I went, and it was a very cold winter,
Yeah.
and I actually was walking home. Uh, I don't know, something. Probably I lost my shirt or something, because I had nothing under my under my jacket. It was cold, but I remember that there was very many stars at the sky or in heaven, and I don't know. It's a weird moment, because I don't know. I was thinking about the life in general, because I was tired, and what am I doing here, and why my life is the way it is, and I don't know. It was some kind of a sense of clarity when I watched the sky. I don't know. I felt that I don't know. I'm not alone here. It's difficult to explain, but hopefully you're able to know what I mean, because that's something that I actually still feel it when I think about it. That I'm not alone here. I can have a beautiful life, and I will do everything in my power to actually live it. So that's one of my whoa moments.
Yes, wow. That's a beautiful one. That it is a spiritual experience. That's what it's. I mean, it just sounds so much like it. A mystical experience, a spiritual experience, the connection with the universe, the connection
Mm.
with the depth of what we are, not even who we are, but what.
Yeah.
So that's what I felt too. From you looking at sky, I have done that so many times myself, so I know exactly what that is.
Okay. Good.
Oh my God, Raido, yeah, that's beautiful. Do you actually have some let's say philosophy around spirituality when it comes to God or reincarnation, all those things, or you don't often talk about or think about it?
I guess I don't talk about it too much. I would say, uh, and I know or I think that there is something bigger than us, and I truly like one quote. I think it was in some kind of I don't remember where it was, but it says that everything that can be seen is temporary, and everything that cannot be seen is internal. So I think hopefully this will answer the question, and I believe that we have a lot more inside of us than we actually are able to see, and that's something way bigger than us. I don't know what it is, but it's a lot bigger than us.
Mm. Yes, a billion times to the invisible world. Yes. The things that we cannot see, right? But we know, or we all have this intuitive knowing that is here. Wait a minute, there's something here that's basically something that's looking to the body and the mind, the words that I'm speaking now. There's something that it's kind of observing everything, or it's aware of all of this. So that makes sense. Another thing that caught my attention was when you talked about values. You speak about values in a way that you said the way our values influence our day-to-day choices and decisions. So, how do we learn what is a value? Like, how do you know the difference between values and belief systems, the things that we believe, and even the things that other people talk to us about, the influences from other people? How do we know how to distinguish them?
Yeah, it's an interesting question because I believe that our real values or deep beliefs, let's say, not something that I say that I'm a courageous guy, and although I have not done anything, but if no, but I think that the deep beliefs or yeah, deep beliefs come in again in times of difficulty when we have to make difficult choices, not to choose between two red apples. We have to choose: do we drink water or we have nothing to eat? And I think that what the choices we make in these situations actually are the ones that comes from very deep of us, and I think this is our belief. Because let's say that um, I had it was 15 years ago. We were actually having a school evening party, and it seemed like an innocent one, but actually the building next to us went to fire. Something just happened there. We're not related, but we discovered it, and as I saw the reactions of people, then many of them were panicking, just running to the forest. They just don't want to do anything about it. Some of them, or some of us, just went to fight with the fire, tried everyone to make safe them. And I think that the choices we make then, these are the beliefs that I believe that I will help this person. It's difficult for us, but I will try to save their lives or their property. And I'm not saying the others are doing it wrong, because it's never wrong. But in that moment, they just ran away to save their own lives, or they were thinking about their families and so on. So I think these moments will define us or reveal our beliefs.
Yeah, that's an interesting insight, and that makes sense to me. Although I don't call them beliefs because I think that's beyond belief. Even it's almost like it's a knowing. It's something that,
Yeah, yes,
right?
probably.
Yeah, because I don't think. Of course, I have the. It's something that could become a belief. the idea that we would help a child if he or she is in danger. We would just, I mean, I would rush there to help a child, a puppy, anything, an animal. But then it's not really, it's not a belief. It's almost like something innate, something that's more powerful than me as a human. It's the interconnectedness, isn't it, Raido? Might be too. We are connected. We are interconnected with everything. There's no separation between me and anything else. The way I feel.
Yeah, it's actually very interesting that you said it, because my position in that situation, what I described, was that I was actually trying to hold on the owner of the property, because he wanted to go into the fire, but no, he would have not come out there. So I was the one who's was holding around him that he would not go. But what you said actually resonates with me, because I felt, I don't know, I felt a sense of peace in that moment. I don't know why or how,
Yeah.
but I really felt that, okay, it's good. I'm doing the right thing. So yeah, it's a bit or a lot deeper than just a belief. I don't know what it is, but
Yeah, no, you describe it. I mean, I love the way you said it. That too. It's a sense of peace. It's because it's coming from peace. It is peace itself. That when we feel connected with everything else, other people, other things, nature, the pen, the microphone, that there's something there that brings us to the present moment and gives that, yeah, this feeling of peace. It has been my experience all the time, really, because it is a practice too. I do feel that because the mind is so scattered and the mind creates so much separation, we needed to practice, keep the returning, kind of grabbing the attention of the mind to what really matters, to the depth of this experience. That's my practice. Do you have any practice like that on a day-to-day basis?
I think not into day-to-day practice. What I just try to do is take some time just to do nothing, if that makes sense. And I will probably listen to some kind of music or something. And I have tried different things, but I actually go with the flow today. Wherever the mind goes, I will follow, or the intuition, just what will come up. And so far, this has worked the best for me.
Yes, yes, yeah. That's what I meant in my case. That's my practice. Life is my practice. So every moment, like being here with you, and when I'm with my dog, with my husband, with my friends, with whatever, I'm always very much, when I'm going to bed to sleep, whatever it is, I'm always kind of getting into the depth of the experience. What is this all about? And observing. I mean, it is to me, life is very interesting. It's fascinating. There's something else that you talk about that caught my attention on your website. You talk about productivity, that is time, energy, and attention. So you speak of attention there. So that caught my attention too, immediately. So is that what makes, that's how you define productivity? The combination of time, energy, and attention? And how does it work, all of these?
Yeah, I think, of course, it's a simplified equation. But yeah, I think that these are the key pillars of productivity. And if we do not focus, or let's say we're focusing on the wrong thing, then no matter how beautifully we do it, it will not work out. And I think, that's what I see today, is that I think the main problem is that we do, or we try to do, too many things.
Yeah.
There's a huge piles of papers in our computers, in our heads, and and yeah, it's simple as that. But if we focus, we get the information, we get the value, we get the ideas in front of our brains. But we just juggle it with many things, and we just are exhausted, and we just lack of energy as well.
That is true. That has been my experience. I think we live in the world of technological world of knowledge, right? Like we learn so much so quick. I
Yeah.
mean, we have access to so much so quickly. But I do feel that there's a big difference between knowledge and wisdom, which it seems to me that um, wisdom is really the application of knowledge, the most fundamental knowledge that we have. How do you see that, Raido? What is your ideas around the topic of knowledge and wisdom?
I think if I try to put it in a simple way, then knowledge is something that we think it should happen. It's like a plan we write in our apartment, and knowledge becomes wisdom when we take this plan outside, and it will meet real life. It will change everything around your plan, and your plan or your thoughts put into paper will become wisdom.
Because it becomes experience, right?
Exactly.
We are not speaking from a place, intellectual place only, abstract intellect. It has been integrated with our own experiences. I agree. Yes, that's what my idea is too. Although I go deeper into that in a sense because wisdom to me is the knowing the nature of what we are, not even who we are, but who we are can lead us to what we are. But in the end, I really believe that there's a direct path to knowing what we are in a sense of peace, and then getting there and staying there because we never left in the first place. I do see that now, that there's almost like this ground of peace that holds all this together. So that's a spiritual kind of perspective, but it's one that has been the most, let's say, life changing. It's changed, but it didn't at the same time, because life is the same in a way, but the way I see it, it's differently. It's more peaceful. So there's more joy, there's more playfulness too, which it helps a lot. Do you want to make a comment about that, Raido?
I think it's actually a beautiful thought, because what or how I sense it is that I have also, probably as many people in the past, I have also experienced burnouts, and this is something completely opposite what you described. And when I was coming out of it, I actually was driving with my car, and I noticed that the radio was playing that there is a beautiful song, because I hadn't noticed it in many years, I think. So yeah, I think for me it resonates, that being in the present and seeing the beauty of every details what is around us, I think.
Yes, right, right. Or what holds those details,
Yeah.
whatever is in here that's making us aware of all these things. You do talk about feelings, and we're almost at the end, but I wanted to tap into this topic too. On your website, you speak of issues presented by clients, probably the more often, the more frequent ones, and you talk about how to understand their own emotions and feelings. That's one of them. So the title of this platform is The Freedom to Feel, for a reason. So what is freedom when it comes to feelings and emotions?
I think as I have worked with many people from let's say that from they're much older than me, and for this generation, the feelings, what is this word that even, or especially when there are males, they say that I'm a male, I don't have feelings, I work. So it actually starts from the very basis, that what is a feeling, how it will affect your thoughts, and so on. So and if you don't have even this basic knowledge, then no, you don't understand the concept of what's in your head. And I usually start with this: what are feelings, what are thoughts, how are they connected, and then we actually are able to get there one day, that we understand that what is my freedom to feel.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Yeah. That it made me just stop now when you said some people, they have this this understanding of life, with the perception that life is just what I do, the work, right? They're not in touch with the feelings and the subtleties, with love, joy, peace, and all that. It kind of surprised me, but at the same time, it doesn't, because I know the nature of the mind. That's what the mind does. It's all, I mean, the mind, it's the content of the mind, it's everything. Let's see. I think I'm almost at the end. On your website too, it caught my attention. The coaching results where you talk about increased self-awareness is one of them, and then increased self-confidence and self-belief. And then you said one about this one caught my attention. More honest awareness and understanding of our own feelings. That really caught my attention too, and also having clarity on the path, what we want in life. That's very important. What's our purpose here? What's the mission? I love your message when it comes to that. You said that throughout the interview, a mission, a purpose, clarity when it comes to that. Thank you so much for your presence in our reality, Raido. Thank you for what you do again.
Yeah, thank you for having me here.
Thank you. So let's see. I also want to mention before we end the conversation today, some articles that caught my attention, blog posts on your website, how resting more can boost your productivity. So resting, that is so important, not just for productivity, but also for finding that peace that we spoke earlier. And then the 7 types of rest that every person needs. That I have to ask you that question. So I was curious about it. I wanted the audience to know too. So what are the 7 types of rest, if you still remember them?
Yeah, I have to remember. But actually, yeah, the general logic was actually that we have different types of rest, starting from the different phases of sleep, day sleep, and actually ending with just being there. I don't know, being with your family, watching TV, reading a book, and then finishing with doing some kind of exercise to just give back to your body. And of course, one of my big favorites is that taking a break is from everything and help someone, because this will give you something that I cannot say in words. You will help somebody, but the feeling you will get is a huge boost for your entire life. So that's something I would bring out.
I love that one. That's true. That goes back to the interconnectedness. It makes us feel connected with everything else.
Exactly.
And less self-centered, right? Because a lot of times we're so self-centered that makes us stressed and anxious, depressed, and all that. I really believe that. That's a beautiful message too. Thank you for saying that. Beautiful.
Thank you.
So I want to mention your services, project management, team coaching, and personal coaching. Did I miss anything else, Raido, when it comes to your services?
I think you mentioned the basics, and if anybody has any questions, of course, I can have more detailed discussions anyway. So I think it's good.
Okay, wonderful. What's the best place to find you? The best, let's say, your website. I know you have a LinkedIn too. Both of them or just one?
I think LinkedIn is one of the quickest ways. Of course, the web page works as well. So whatever is more convenient, I'm able to reach and get the messages from both of them.
Wonderful. So I'll have those 2 links on this podcast interview. And before we say goodbye for today, I have a question that I usually ask everyone. So I'll ask you. What 3 experiences you wish everyone to have before they die, before they lose the body?
That's a really good question. I think the experience what everybody should have is, as you said, not being so self-centered, and to experience something that you helped someone or the group of people or even a small animal, that you helped him, and actually no one knows about it, only you.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Yeah. Yes, a billion times. And you just remind me of there's something on YouTube, but there's a man, I think it's a vet, him and his wife, they go and they help animals, like puppies that they are left abandoned on places like far reached place, parks and all that. So he helps them, but he never shows his face. He's always like with his hand helping them throughout the whole painful journey of cleaning them up, feeding them, taking to the vet, but he never shows his face. So that kind of resonates true. I mean, it just resonates with my heart enormously. Thank you for saying that again. Thank you for your presence, everything you do, and we'll be in touch again. Bye for now, Raido. Thank you.